Hello, hello. This is a fresh episode of Tea with Tay. Um, as you know, this episode is proudly sponsored by my faves, Lipton. And today I have a superstar in the building. He's a singer, songwriter, rapper, Victony. Please put your hands together for my guests. Hello, superstar.
Hello.
I've been waiting for you. Is this how we'll be waiting for superstars now?
Vex, man. It's Lagos.
What's happened?
Blame it on Lagos.
What's happened when you late?
I already told you what happened now.
Tell the camera.
No, they don't need to
Okay,
know. Just
off
keep it
camera.
to
Yeah.
this.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's good to have you. I'm a fan. I mean, I listen to your songs, and I knew that I would want to sit down with you. Yeah.
What's your favorite Victony song?
All power belongs to you. God forgive me. You know I'm a Jesus boy, but
I have,
Victory said it.
I have songs.
Yeah, I
So
like
why did you choose
Apollo.
that?
I like Holy Father.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Then Soweto is an all-time favorite. I
Of
think
course.
Soweto will go down in history as a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So big ups on that. Okay, let's get into it. You know, because I'm a fan, I know Victony, but I don't know who Anthony Ebuka is.
Mm-hmm.
That's your real name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who would you say Anthony Ebuka Victor is?
Anthony Ibuka Victor is that kid that, grew up in Lagos, started music 2017 professionally. But prior
Mhm.
to then, I've been doing like freestyles, SoundCloud covers, and all that. Then, I took music seriously when I got to the uni because that's when I had like the chance to like explore. You know, when I was in secondary school, I didn't have the time or have an opportunity to
Mm.
go to a studio and try out something. So I mean, there was Instagram, and that's what like I was doing at the time. Uh, but I went to uni. I could use my feeding money for like studio time and stuff like that. So yeah,
You did that.
I said yeah, of course, yeah.
Wow.
Because obviously my mom would give me money like to go to the studio now. I
Mhm.
mean, she didn't have a problem with it, but it was like school first at the
Mm.
time. So yeah, I started doing music, and here today. So yeah.
Is this who Ebuka is?
Uh, Off the top, I don't really know what to say about myself until you like kind of like ask me questions, but
Yeah, right.
that's what I
Mm.
yeah.
Okay, so as adults or whoever we are, like there's certain influences that make us who we are, the factors that come into play. I mean, to even be Victoni, there are too many factors that came into play for you to be
Yeah.
this person now.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, what are those factors for you? Like, tell me, what was growing up like for you?
Growing up was like really interesting. I mean, thinking about it now,
Mm-hmm.
living like a different life, uh, makes me appreciate, everything I went through growing up. Like it was not so easy, staying in Iba housing estate and later moving on to like, school.
You lived in
There.
Iba,
Yeah.
the Iba that is before like Yanoba.
Yeah.
I know
I
that
live
estate
there.
too.
You know there? How do you know there?
When I first come Lagos, I did stay Egbeda for go on.
Are you serious?
I stayed go on. I stayed go on for like 6 months. So you get one of my friend that time for you, like she just stayed by estate. But I didn't know that it was that far. She said I come visit her from meaning like I go say no be
It's fine. It's fine. I don't even
no
like to
be
say
hello by here.
it.
More I took like 4 or 5 buses that day.
Yeah,
From
it's that
Yaba
far.
to Egbeda. As I enter Egbeda, I can't carry another bus so they go like Ishenyi or somewhere.
Yeah,
When I
it's that
reached
far.
there, I almost insulted the girl, saying like, you could have just met me in school.
I don't even like to say Iba housing estate because like a lot of people don't know there. So I'd
Mm.
rather just say, oh, before first stack. So
No,
I
no,
use
no, no,
first
no,
stack
no, no,
as a
no,
landmark.
no. Iba is not before.
Yeah, but like a lot of people know first stack, and that's like where they know, you understand? But they
Yeah.
don't know Yanoba, they don't know that side of Lagos. So but that's where I grew up. That's where
You grew up
I
there.
grew up
You
there. I
look
went
like you
to
grew up in
primary.
Ikoyi, but
Eh?
okay. Tell me about growing up in Iba.
Ha. I mean, man, everything you hear about Iba is like true, like the insecurity, cultism,
Really?
robbery, you know, it was crazy growing up there, trust me. So I mean, you have to have like a certain level of orientation to like, to survive there. So you won't be so you won't be like taken as a softie. You feel me?
Mm.
So
But deep
yeah,
down, you're a softie.
deep down.
Mm.
Nah.
Because
Forget what this feel
no,
like.
because you they give me like those children will be say yes we live here but our parents will guard us like you give me that type of energy like your parents guarded you
No,
shielded
at
you from
some
a lot of.
I had to learn. Like at some
Mm-hmm.
point, like my parents weren't even like around. I mean, some point like things were like pretty rough. So
Right.
my mom had to go to like Uri to work, and
Okay.
my dad like was working in Ghana at the time. So it was just me, like secondary school, like from SS1 to like SS3. So I had to learn
So who were you
like
living with
myself.
at the time?
I used to stay alone, or sometimes my sister would come back
In
and
secondary
stay.
school.
Yeah.
Like you didn't
So
have any extended family that could come around and stay in.
nah, I didn't want that. I mean, my parents would tell me to go to a family friend's place and stay,
Mhm.
but I rather just stay alone
How old were you
because
then?
I was like 15 or 14 or something.
A 15 or 14-year-old is living alone
Yeah, because like
in a
my dad told me
house.
he left his like growing up, he left like his home like 12 or something, you know. So my dad's story like really inspired me because like
Mm.
my dad had like a very rough life too. Yeah, but growing up in it was a lot, you know, it
Yeah.
was really like a lot. Going to school around that area too. You used to hear about all the secondary school fights, like
Oh,
government school,
were
all
you
that
part of
stuff.
those?
Like I was a part of it, but I mean I experienced it, you know, like I had a cousin who was like stabbed like at the time in secondary school. Like with all that fighting. I mean, they were fighting with a government school, I think. I forgot it, but yeah. Like, so we experienced it. It was close to me, but I wasn't involved.
You didn't see the bust my brain. You don't give me like I some people we don't go through that kind. You know how
Yeah.
they give me soft ajay butter vibes like oh
Yeah, because like
wow.
you don't have to. I just left all that P behind. Was
Mm,
like, you know, I found like the life that I wanted, you
yeah.
know, so it doesn't show because like I've never been like really
But,
involved.
but
So,
you know what's interesting and I wanted to ask is that you were born in 2001,
hmm,
right?
yeah,
In the 21st century,
yeah.
literally some years ago,
Especially
right?
us, yeah.
And you had gone through all of these things and now you're a star at 22, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm trying to think of your formative years. Like, did you even enjoy being a teenager or you were just already working? Because if at 15 you're already putting your shit together in uni, you're already like trying to do music and everything.
yeah.
Like, did you have like your teenage years with your friends? Did you experience that? Or you were just about, you know what, I'm I'm a man now. I have
Mm.
to sort out things for myself and I have to work. What were your teenage years like?
It's kind of like in between because like
Right?
I knew how to like balance, you know,
Hmm.
wanting to be ahead and also like being with my
Mingling
friends,
and
you
just
know, yeah,
doing regular things.
yeah, doing regular stuff. So like I used to party a lot when I was in secondary school. I used to organize parties, like I used to use the
You don't want to tell
opportunity.
me about the secondary school. You the whole what happened in
Now I'm
secondary
telling you now, I'm
school?
telling you now. I
Uh-huh.
used to party a lot. Like my parents, every time they traveled, like it was like a party had to go down in my house, like definitely.
What were those parties like?
Ah, what do you want to know?
I beg, tell me.
I mean, all teenage stuff, you know, doing stuff we're not supposed to do.
Like what, please?
Like what? I mean, at the time, like drinking,
Right.
you know. One time I was suspended. So let me tell you the story. What they gave me, I was a labor prefect at the time,
Okay.
and I was the labor prefect for just a day. Cause when when they were giving us the badge, I was at a hall nearby. I was organizing like a party like for students, right? So and a couple students were missing in school because we paid like the gate man to
Mm.
allow some students like exit. So uh money that our covers blew up like because like somebody
Mm.
wrote down our names and they took our badge. They gave me like labor prefect on a Friday and our
And by
badge was
Monday.
taken on Monday. Say and I was suspended. I didn't tell my parents. Right? I'm sure they'll just find out now. So
Wow.
I didn't tell my parents, but yeah, like so we did stuff like that.
Mm.
So I knew how to
Yeah.
balance, keep that balance as well.
Yeah. So music, right? When did you discover that you know what this was going to be the path I was going to tour? Was it as a child? Did you have any musical influence? Were your parents even musically inclined at any in any point in your life?
Uh,
Or it's just something that you realize that, you know what, I have this talent, I'm gonna do it.
yeah, growing up, I used to listen to a lot of rappers,
Right.
right? Drake, Kendrick, you know, and I just let them, I tried to like imitate what they were doing at the time.
So you wanted to be a rapper.
I was a rapper.
Oh,
I'm still a rapper because I
okay.
still apply those techniques when I'm
Yeah.
writing
Yeah.
in my music. So I studied them real close, tried to do everything they were doing,
Mhm.
write like them. And that's how I went off to like just do my own thing. That was like my path, to, like, discovering
Mhm.
myself. So if you listen to like the old me, you will hear like Kendrick,
A
right?
lot.
It's like you duplicate of Kendrick, right? So yeah, listening to those guys like kind of like inspired me to go into music and you know moving on. I started listening to like pop artists like John Bellion, uh, who- some EDM, and it kind of like expanded like my mind to
Mm.
like want to try like different stuff.
You officially started doing music in uni.
Officially, yeah.
Which uni did you attend?
Federal University of Technology. Right.
Oh, where?
I'm still in uni though.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
still in
not-
uni. Ke?
yeah, I'm a final year.
I which uni be that? I did you attend classes? Oh,
How do I attend
yeah.
classes?
You just show up, Sha.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. You shall graduate. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
definitely.
tell me about music in uni. So you this was a career that you wanted to push. So you would take your own money
Hmm.
and go and record songs.
Yeah.
How were you so sure that was you were going to blow? Because it's one thing to be using your feeding money. I modeled for 4 years in uni, and trust me, I don't regret it. But I don't see one naira come aside from inside that career. So you invested so much in doing music, right?
Hmm.
Well, how were you so sure that, you know what, it was going to yield you something eventually?
Well, I had that belief, right? But I don't think that was what like really pushed me.
Okay.
It was like my love for like music. Cause I really love music. So if you give me like 1 hour, I'll go to the studio. I want to spend time in the studio. I want to hear
Mm.
myself. I'm not even thinking about if I'm going to blow or if I'm going to make it or not. Like I just wanted to like record first and hear myself.
So by the time that you were in school,
Hmm.
you were an established rapper, Sha.
Hmm.
When did the switch happen? When did the singing and all of this happen?
It's when I did the SMS song,
Okay.
right? So that's when I started trying out more singing. My producers would tell me that I had a good voice, but I used to ignore that because I'm like,
You wanted to be Kendrick
yeah,
Lamar
do
and
you understand?
Drake.
Like this rap thing, make we, because I felt like singing was for soft people. You feel me? Like,
The irony.
the irony, really.
No,
But yeah,
so
like
so wait, so because I cannot, like, I can see you as Victony, and what I
yeah,
see is the singer who's like, you know.
yeah. I'll tell you something.
So were
Yeah,
you like hard rapper,
yeah.
like
Go check out this video
bars
on
and
YouTube.
okay,
It's called Menace. Just check it out. Victony Menace. I left it on there so people
what?
could see the transition.
Right.
So that's how I wanted to be this angry guy, spitting
Spitting
bars,
bars.
like just yeah. But I mean, when
So it
the
was
switch
never really
happened,
singing, you were never really about your
no,
vocals.
no,
Really?
yeah. I learned Afrobeat in the very short. I started Afrobeat in 2020.
Your parents, what did they think about your music thing in school? Because it's one thing for them to send you to school, and it's one thing for you to decide that, you know what, this is the part I'm going to do.
So they didn't really know what was happening. Because I still gave them good grades,
Oh,
at
you
the
still
time.
maintain your
Yeah,
grades?
yeah.
How?
But I don't know, just always been that smart guy.
So sorry, what are you studying?
Bachelor of engineering.
Oh, stop it.
I'm serious.
This guy, they wire me. So wait, are you saying that whilst you're doing the music and everything, even now, your grades are still intact?
Right now, I mean, obviously, it's shaky
Yeah,
because I mean, I'm giving music more time. 2020, I released an EP,
right.
Saturn. That was like
You released
my
an EP
yeah, I
in
released an
Owerri
EP.
or here?
I mean, that was after lockdown. So
Right.
okay, this is how it progressed. I was in school, still doing music, and just doing regular stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Lockdown hits. We all went back home.
Mhm.
That's when I met him before then, but that's when we like kind of like connected.
Oh, that's your
My
manager.
manager,
So this time you're just really an upcoming artist
yeah,
who's trying to make it out of the
yeah,
hood,
yeah.
right?
But we're texting on IG
And he discovered that.
2019 December until 2020 lockdown,
Okay,
and we decided to link in person.
okay,
So I was still a rapper then, but
right,
I mean I was trying out the singing thing, and I met him, and he was like, you know what, let's do like a camp, right? A recording camp,
right.
right? So I just wanted to try new stuff at the camp, right? So that's when I started Afrobeats.
So this was you just trying out new
Yeah,
stuff.
this was me
This
just
new
trying to,
career
yeah,
path
yeah, it
is
was
you
me
trying
trying out
out
new
new
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, I never saw myself being an Afrobeats artist. Honestly, I never used to listen to Afrobeats.
Really?
I wanted to just be a rapper, you know. So that happened, and that's when like I recorded the EP, the Saturn EP, you know, and then we put it out 2020 as
Mm,
well, August 2020. He started doing his thing. But I went back to school. But obviously, my name started gradually entering like the industry. A few people knew Victony
right,
because I
right.
did a song with Fowls in 2020. You
Oh,
know, yeah, he made that connect happen. I
right.
have a co-manager as well. That's Alaji. You know, he met Alaji.
Popping.
Alaji introduced us to Fowls, and Fowls like, who's this guy?
Mm,
You know, say I'm very grateful to Fowls for that. You know, doing a song with someone you don't know,
mm,
you know, a name you've never heard of before,
yeah.
but you just like the music and you hopped on it.
But you
That's
were good. No? I mean, that's how
yeah.
your manager. Let's talk about the influence of your manager because
Mm-hmm.
this is you who's no weary. So Daffy finds you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And his influence is helping your music. Did you guys have like a label that you guys were under? What was the funding like? Like, where did the money come from to even set up a camp and
Bro.
record and as in
Let
the
me tell
rub it
you.
out to people? What was the vibe like?
I met Daffy. He's an events guy. He does events in Lagos, right? So he
Right.
has a show called Let's Relate.
Okay.
And I was in school at the time. I'm going through my Instagram feed, and I think it was a sponsored ad or something. I don't know how I stumbled across the Let's Release page. Like, this is a platform for me. I need to get on this show. So I did a cover of Black Bones' song at the
Mm-hmm.
time, Shut Up, and he reposted it. I think
That's
that's when
Daffy.
that's no Black
Okay.
Bones. Black
Right.
Bones reposted it. He gave me like buzz at the time. I think that's when he hit
Right.
me up,
Right.
and
Right.
he's like he's doing a rap edition for Let's Relate.
Mm.
So I came from Owerri to Lagos, right? They still owe me 5,000 naira for that
Oh, you not fly?
trip. They still owe me five
You didn't
thousand.
fly?
They didn't
A
fly. Oh. Ah,
superstar?
we're busting it
Oh
down. We're
wow.
busting it down.
Okay.
Yeah, so and I performed at the event, you know, and I really liked how it felt,
Mm.
you know, to a large gathering of young people, because
Right.
that's what the event was about, like a
Right.
large gathering of young people, and you just come and showcase your talent. And I got a few fans from that, and I wanted to keep like contact with him. So I'm like, bro, man, anytime this is happening, you know, you could always hit me up for me to perform. And he had a December edition
Mm.
in 2019 as well.
Mm.
And then he put me on the lineup, but I didn't get to perform, but
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I
what happened?
tried to hit him up. He was nowhere to be found. I mean, he was busy, was doing stuff at the time. So,
Mm.
yeah. And after then, I think January 2020, that's when we started talking. And he was like always interested in my music. And like,
Mm.
I'm looking for a manager, you know, and he's like, he's looking for an artist to work with
Also, before then,
too.
Daffy didn't have any artists. He
You
just
know,
used to do events and
just as
everything.
the events, yeah.
But he believed in the brand.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we did the camp. Oh, sorry, at the time, Sidney Talker wanted to sign me as well.
Oh wow. Sydney
Yeah,
the comedian.
yeah. But it didn't work out. So I think
Why?
that's you know, I don't know what happened. I can't remember. You know, we're still working, you know,
Yeah.
on new music and started discovering a new Victony.
You know why I'm asking this question?
Mm-hmm.
Music is a very expensive to push.
Yeah,
Distribution, even just managing an artist, what you look like, and
yeah.
everything. Where was all these monies coming from?
Where we used to hustle it out. I mean, that fee, we used to owe. Let me put it this way. Let me tell you, we're owing the owner of the hotel or the woman managing it. I don't know if she owns there.
Wow.
Like we owed her
But you
like
guys didn't
for
have
like a
like he didn't have a
week.
house here on the island.
he had a house, but it was going to be uncomfortable for him, like me to just come in and
Yeah.
having producers, you know, come around. But he was like, he's a young guy,
Yeah.
you know, not doing much. That was
So you guys were
lockdown.
owing because you guys thought that you're gonna make money from music, or that you guys were already making some money from maybe
We're
performing
making
and
money, but
when I just
we're
say
just do
maybe
our
just
rocket down, we're just down. The music was important. We needed
right,
to,
right,
you know, we needed to make the music.
right,
It made us happy.
right.
So that's all that mattered at the time. We did the camp, and that kind of like just introduced me to a new Victony and just made me know, oh,
It's
this is interesting. Like Afrobeat is interesting.
mm,
It's not as simple as it looks when you're looking at it from the outside.
right.
So when you start doing Afrobeats, you realize how complicated it is from understanding the beats. You know,
So you had to learn Afrobeat in like a year. Or
yeah.
let's talk about your accident. On the morning of your what time did I don't know what time the accident happened.
hmm
Tell me about the day or the morning leading up to your accident. What you were up to.
Well, so I went to school, right?
Please stop. Are you sure you're fine to recount these
Yeah,
stories? Okay.
I've
Okay, so
discussed this like 100 times.
okay.
So I went to school. I returned back to school for like a new semester, and Daffy called me the morning that, oh, if I could come back to Lagos for like an MTV interview or something of that sort. I can't
Mm,
remember. And but my parents didn't know that I left school for Lagos. You know, so I was in Lagos at the time in my friend's place, right? But they all went out, so I decided to like go to if another friend of mine, Yusuf, come by. Well, he goes by the name YKB now. He's an artist as well. So, um, we spent the whole day together, recording, you know, just vibing. And then YKB tells me it's actually his birthday in the night. If I'm interested to go for the party, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. The interview was the next day, so I mean, why not? So we went for the party. It was at Landmark, I guess. I can't remember, honestly. We went for the party. YKB is like YKB had a song with Zlatan then. So he's like Zlatan is at DNA. We should go league Zlatan. And then I went. And it was an interesting sight for me because like, I was on the come up and seeing like
mm-hmm.
superstars at the
Let me
club.
guess. You guys were a red room.
No,
That's
no, 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 no. I was in a red room. He was downstairs.
on at DNA.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was downstairs. And seeing that was like my first time at the club.
Oh, because I mean you were 20 or
Yeah.
21. Wow.
That was like my first time at the club. So I seen all that. So it was like, wow. You know, seeing him spray so much money. Just how everyone was
So wait,
around
sorry. All
Zlatan.
this time you were an artist in Owerri. You never just even sneak enter a
No, I
club.
never see the lifestyle. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so seeing all that was like mind opening for me. I'm like, wow, this shit is real.
Mm.
And yeah, that happened. And then just leaving the club like way back, I slept off because I was tired. That was like my first time outside until
Yeah. That
that
time.
time.
Yeah.
So I slept off. And when I woke up, I was at the hospital with my dad sitting right up. So I'm like, what's happening? You feel? Because I mean, my parents didn't know I was in Lagos. So I'm like, what's my dad here? Like, and then told me I was out for like 3 or 4 days.
Stop it.
Tell you, man.
Are you saying that all the time that the accident happened,
Yeah.
you slept through it?
Yeah. I mean, I was unconscious.
So from the
So,
sleep you enter.
yeah.
Tell me about the events. How many people were in the car with you? Who was driving? Like,
It
what did you
was,
hear about the accident when you woke up?
I heard like the impact was from the back, like another car had hit us. Because the driver and the other guy at the front, they were totally fine. But we were two at the back, two at the front.
Mhm.
So, doing RIP doing, he was the one beside me. He died while I broke my legs.
Who was doing it to you?
I just met doing that
Mm.
day or a day before.
Right.
So we just started to connect, but he was like a really fun guy.
Mm. So you woke up in the hospital and you see your dad.
Yeah.
Tell me about the hospital.
It was a very, very confusing moment. You know, it was really confusing because,
Mhm.
like, first of all, what am I doing here? what happened? Did I fuck off? Like what happened? It was just
Mm.
different thoughts like in my head,
Yeah.
like, you know, or and my dad was just happy,
That you're alive.
that I opened my eyes.
Mm.
And I was really quiet, and that got like my siblings really worried, because they thought something was wrong with me.
What do you mean you're
But
quiet?
I was really quiet because like I wasn't really talking to like anyone because I was trying to understand, what had happened.
Were you in some sort of shock or
Yeah, but I call it shock. I would say shock, but I was just really trying to take my time to understand what was happening at the time because it was a jump if
right,
you think
right,
about it,
right,
right?
right.
So I'm like, yeah,
One time you're having a good time at the
yeah.
club.
Yeah, they told me I had an accident. Okay, they had already informed me like, oh, it was an accident. This happened, but they didn't tell me anyone died. Though.
Right.
They kept that from me. I'm like,
Mm,
everyone is good, yeah,
mm.
yeah. But I wasn't like really me, I wasn't her. I mean, if I'm when I'm around my siblings, I behave in a certain way, but none of that was happening. I just that kind of like raised like concerns, like,
Were you sad? Were you confused? I mean,
yeah, I just felt somehow. I don't even know how to explain it.
mm.
Right? I don't know what's.
Or maybe it shouldn't have been you
Yeah,
because there's so much ahead of you.
I don't even know how to explain it, but I just felt a certain way.
So this was you in the hospital. You couldn't walk. So
Mm.
what? I mean, the doctor said you couldn't walk, and you.
So let me tell you something. When they told me I couldn't walk,
That's what they said to you.
yeah, like
Okay, okay.
for the time being,
Mhm.
uh,
What did that do to you? Because your
honestly, I didn't
career is ahead of
believe.
you. You
I
can
didn't
literally
believe.
see. You didn't
Yeah, I
believe.
didn't believe. I'm like, nah, this thing is just one small injury. Like, we'll be
After
out
a
of
while,
here.
maybe.
So one day, the doctor came to my room and he's like, "How am I doing?" I'm like, "I'm fine." So he told me to try to sit at the edge of my bed. So when I was unable to do that,
The
newsflash,
realization
I'm
hits
like,
you.
it hits hard.
How did
I'm
that
like,
make you feel? Helpless.
bruh, yes. That's when I felt sad. That's when I felt like really sad. Not being able to move. Like it was a really small distance. Like
Mm, mm.
not being able to raise my leg up. Like it was sad, to be
Yeah.
honest. I didn't like the feeling.
You know that thing where you're on the hospital bed, you've probably thought about, I mean, you just left Zlatan and this guy, you've seen your future ahead of
Mm-hmm.
you, and the next thing is that you can't even move.
Yeah.
What did you feel? Anger? Because I'm really trying to get the emotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it anger or frustration that you feel at that moment? Also, because you don't even know when you're gonna like get well. Like this was a guy that was trying to get his career together,
Yeah.
and the next thing your doctor is telling you, you probably have to use a wheelchair. In fact, that wheelchair experience, let's talk about it. Because you've probably seen other people on wheelchairs.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I was should I say angry, but then I begin to ask myself, what am I angry about? Like whose fault is
Mm,
it? Like because I started to like, act rude towards like people taking care of me at the
yeah.
time. But
But did they understand that this there was a reason why you were
yeah, they
angry?
understood, but I didn't want to give myself an excuse like to behave in that manner,
Yeah,
you feel. So I'll constantly ask myself that who's it's nobody's fault, right?
yeah,
And I have every reason to be thankful.
right.
I have every reason to be thankful that I survived
Yeah.
that crash.
I don't know if it's safe to say this, but would you say that the accident was a blessing in disguise? Because yes, your music was coming up, but then when the accident happened, everybody wanted to know what happened.
Yeah.
Who is this guy? This promising star that this thing happened to. Would you say that kind of influenced the trajectory of your music?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The accident is definitely a blessing in disguise, one. Um, but not not becoming famous
No, you're gonna
after.
blow. I'm not saying
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying that.
I feel you, but
Yeah,
I mean, it's a blessing in disguise because it's teaching me a lot. I'm still
right,
learning from
right,
that experience,
right.
you know, because it kind of like just slowed me down
Mm.
and just made me understand like certain things were really important in life.
Post the accident, your music is. I mean, you did Holy Father.
Yeah.
Post the accident with Miyakun. How did that collaboration come about? Like,
So before the accident,
mhm.
in fact, that was another reason why I was in Lagos
Yes.
the time the accident happened. Right.
Oh,
Because Miracle wanted to shoot a content for Holy Father. So
okay.
that was like before Blue Moment
So you already
for
you already voiced the thing,
yeah,
the Holy
before
Father.
the
Like, oh wow.
accident. So we're preparing to blow.
Do you think it was gonna blow like that?
Yes, we always do.
Say yes. Big
Holy
energy.
Father was that song for us. We don't joke
Mm.
with Holy Father. This how like we're already walking pompous. Like my manager will tell you, like, if you want to do anything with Victony,
Ah,
just do it now
when
because
I never even collect single.
when this song drops, it's like
Mm.
you won't be able to reach us.
Wow.
So we knew.
You believe the song that much?
Yes, we
The
knew.
song was big shot.
Yeah. Yeah, we knew. I knew it was going to have that kind of impact.
Why?
It's just from the moment I recorded the song, when
Mm.
it came to me, when the hook came to my head, I just smiled. And I'm like, this one is a smash.
After Holy Father, boom, the industry has the industry is seeing a new
Yeah.
star in their eyes. What happens next is, I mean, you're getting calls. You guys are now booked. Clearly, tell me about that takeoff. You
So
you also did a feature. No, you did a feature with Burner, right?
yeah.
After all of that,
I mean it wasn't one I imagined.
okay.
Because before the accident, when I imagined being a superstar,
Mm.
I didn't imagine being on stage, with a wheelchair or
Might tell you something.
yeah.
Might just say
Okay.
you. And this
Okay.
your manager there.
Yeah.
That wheelchair where you did,
Yeah.
eh? And you singing it. You like I just something like the accident might be a blessing in disguise. It was a different brand. I knew you were gonna get it from the wheelchair,
Yeah.
but at the time, like
I
it sort
hated
of
it though.
it just put some spotlights on you. I wanted to
Yeah.
know who Victony was. I wanted to know what he was singing. Do you
Yeah.
understand? So like I mean, after that, I just think that I'm not saying that I'm glad it happened, but
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
you, like
Yeah. But I mean, man, I want to look at it as God's design now.
yeah,
But at
yeah.
the time, I
It
couldn't
wasn't easy.
see it,
Yes,
because I
yes,
wanted people to know Victony because Victony is this talented guy.
yes,
Not
yes.
because, oh, this thing happened to him.
Mm.
Oh, like I
Oh,
hated
that
all
pity
that.
part,
Yeah, I just
right?
hated all that.
Your feature with Burner, how did that come about? Like,
So, it was Buju's show,
okay,
right? And I was about to go on stage. And I see
it's
Burner.
Burner, by the
Yeah,
way.
Burner. And I see Burner Boy smiling at me. But I wanted to ignore. I'm like, nah,
Eh?
it can't be
You did
me now. No, it
Chris.
can't be me. No, I just felt like, does Burner Boy know who I am? That's
Exactly.
how I'm like, why is Burner Boy smiling at me? He's like, and he tells them to bring him forward, bring him forward,
Hmm.
bring him here. And then he shakes me.
Hmm.
Everything is still like a dream to me. Because let me tell you, I was discussing with my guy earlier in the day. I'm like, imagine what's it to feel like to miss the big three. So that night, uh, Davido was rehearsing for his show somewhere in Lekki. And, I think my manager was there, went to meet him. Just leaving there, went to Echo Hotel and I saw Wizkid. Right. So leaving Echo Hotel to Buji's show,
Hmm.
I saw Brother.
Wow.
So
Wait, after Holy Father, are you saying that you're not already fucking with the big three?
I know I was still new to the game.
What this industry?
I was still new to the game. I was still coming up. I was still on the
Right.
come up. Everything doesn't happen like immediately. You feel
Right.
me?
Right.
So I was still on the come up. So seeing Burner and just reminiscing on the conversation I had with my friend in the morning, it was
Right.
like,
Right. Right.
this is crazy. And Burner was like, bro, we need to make one.
What
You know?
he said that you need to make
Yeah,
music.
we need to make
What
music.
did that thing? It ring for you like
Bro, I had
gong
to tweet it in the morning. I'm like, Burner shook my hand last night and he said we need to make music.
mad.
I mean, I had slept. And when I woke up in the morning, I'm like, this thing happened, dude.
I've said from the beginning I'm a fan of your music, and you
Yeah.
released an EP. I was in that hole when you released it, and I love the songs. I want to know what inspired that entire EP.
Um, so like I said, starting off rapping, having to leave that, forget that I could rap, so I can do Afro beats, and now realizing that I can actually infuse the technique I use in writing as a rapper into Afrobeats. Those are like the three those are like the three phases in my career like currently. So that kind of like inspired me to like, do the Outlaw EP. At the time when I realized that I could like infuse that into Afrobeats, uh and my writing and my writing changed. That's when I started recording like new
Mm,
songs, and I put those songs together in one project to show people that this
mm.
is where I am right now.
When then we were recording Soweto, because that's a classic.
Bro, that was like 2021.
That's
I don't even want to.
that's
That
before
was
you even
that was a
entered God mode,
freestyle. So
though.
it was a freestyle.
Hey,
Honestly,
voila.
I'm not even. I
This
recorded
energy is
Sweeto.
too big.
I recorded Sweeto and Rosemary like same day, right? And that's kind of like a freestyle. You can tell from the lyrics how unserious
Mm,
it
mm,
sounded,
mm,
you
mm,
know, and that's what like people used to like compare me with other people, and it kind of like pisses me off because like this is 2021 Victony
mm,
or 2023, and it's not a bad thing that everything I put out is like a success, and so it kind of like gives me more time
mm-hmm.
before I release music. So I
Right,
always have to stay ahead
right.
of everything I'm releasing.
But you know one song that I can't get off my head? All power belongs to you. You know when I heard that song, I'm like, Jesus, he did it. He sang it. I'm like, all power belongs to you, Jesus. But this song is a hit. And like every time I sing it, I'm like, God, it's not me that Victoria talk about. But like, what was going on in your head? Because all power belongs to your bomb bomb.
Just in the studio is a crazy day at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
The beat is crazy. I'm like, this hook has to be provocative, like, because everything I built up onto the hook was crazy.
Mm,
I needed something to like take you from this to this. I
that,
needed
yeah.
something that would give me a reaction.
Yeah.
But bear in mind, I wasn't trying to
Overdo it, but
overdo it though. But my mind, it was just vibes for me at the time. I
mm,
wanted it to cause a reaction. I'm like, bro, there's already a conversation about me and Bom Bom on the internet. So
right.
why not?
What
You feel me?
conversation was
Like,
that, please?
people like the way people said I like us. You feel me? I
Right.
mean, it's kind of like exaggerated online, but I wanted to just play the role
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
and just kind of like give them what they wanted at the time. Like, yeah, people really like this because like this is already on Twitter at the time. So
So when you recorded that of that hook in the studio, what was the reaction from your guys?
they liked
Everywhere
it.
scatter.
Yeah. Like, yes.
Mm,
And I was very involved with the production as well.
right,
So when I
right.
recorded the hook, I knew that a powerful bass line had to follow through. So my message is like really clear.
Mm.
You feel? But to my greatest surprise, the reception was different.
You had some backlash, right?
Yeah, but honestly, I don't care about. I'm at a point in my life where, to be honest, right, like it doesn't even get to me what people say.
Mm-hmm.
And because of what I described earlier to you, because when
Mm,
you ask yourself how many people were there for you in the time of pain, so people that just go online to tweet bad about
mm,
me, like I feel like they don't deserve my time, and I feel like
right,
it's like
right,
ignorance to them because like
right.
I need to just only respond to people that care about me at this
Mm,
point in my life, and that's one
mm,
thing like I thank God
mm,
for.
mm. With
I
this,
thank God like the accident happened. It
yeah.
really taught me that because
Mm.
if not,
You'd
all
have
the
been,
stuff that I've probably
yes, got
gotten
into you
to.
because I think that back to the accident, right? I think that when you go through something this traumatic and you get over it, you become very committed to self.
Yeah,
In that, like the externals are not really
yeah,
affecting you
yeah,
because you've been through worse. You
yes.
understand? So you just really want to do things that make you happy,
Mm-hmm.
produce the kind of music that you want to produce, and keep it moving.
Yeah,
I'm happy for you. I mean, you guys are living in good times. You and your team, the
yeah,
music is doing well. The reception is amazing. I mean, you guys have Soweto remix.
yeah,
You just dropped the video.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
how's that doing?
It's doing well. It's
Mhm.
doing well.
I mean, you guys are living in good times.
Yeah,
So, what are we expecting in the future? You guys, are you going to tour? What projects are we expecting from you?
yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'm putting like my next EP together.
Right.
I mean, I kind of like announced like a deluxe, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if that's gonna happen. I'm just taking my time because there's so much songs to choose from, and I want to make sure that I still follow, through what I've established already with my fans, and kind of like don't lose touch by being ahead. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of like putting that together right now. but I want to go. I'm going to the US real soon because that's somewhere I've never been to.
It was gonna
So
be crazy.
I need to
Yeah.
take the Outlaw EP there.
Right.
You know, Soweto as well. Do some
You already have a fan base
performances.
there, right?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But I want to see that for
Yeah.
myself.
Okay, so there's a part of this show that is called Spill the Tea, Kotsi Leptin. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
you just spill the tea. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to ask you a few questions. They're no wrong answers, but just give me some right answers. And
Okay.
I'm going to reward you with a special Lipton goodie bag. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So these questions here I put together my producer. I have nothing to do with it. So let me just tell you before. What's your favorite Victony track?
That one is a hard question
I
now.
beg stopper.
Ah,
There's always a favorite,
there's always a favorite. No,
but
with me, yeah. Every song I record is like a favorite song at the time. If I tell you my favorite song now, you will not know it because I just recently made it. So
oh right.
yes, that's how it is for me. But
Yeah,
that's what I have to
politician. I love
say.
it. I love it. Okay, so this one says, we know you like Bomb Bomb, but what other factors do you give power to when considering a potential partner?
First of all, let me make this clear. It's not that deep. Do you understand? But I mean, is my love for Mom is it's there, of course. I have to acknowledge that.
Okay, so
But it's not as deep as it is on the internet, you
right.
know. But yeah. I mean, if you're fun, you know, if basically if I can catch a vibe with you,
Mhm.
and obviously if you have asked to that's I mean it's not that deep, but it has to be there.
Yeah. It's not a
Makes
deal
it just
breaker, but I mean, just
it
add
just
them
I
there.
mean
Okay.
for the sake of
Okay. Your music has been going places. What's the most recent big boy splurge? I mean,
mm,
obviously the money is here now, the shows, the
mm,
lifestyle. What's that one thing that you don't buy where we say you safe no say? Some years ago I would not dare this. I would not even try it.
what would it be? Obviously I have like this the thought of when like it's not like you've gotten something yet, but like just checking out something because you can afford it, right? So like sometimes it's just like my guys are talking about cars. I'm like, oh, let me see what car is that,
Hmm.
and they're like, oh, is this one? And I know years back that's something that we even
You will
if I
not
we
even
even dare
look
talk
at,
about
yeah.
like Corolla. You feel me? But now I'm like, oh yeah, let me see that. Oh, okay,
Okay, so which car
yeah.
are you seeing?
Which car am I saying? I don't want to say
Talk am now. That's the idea.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say
No,
it.
now you
I
cannot
don't
do
want
that.
to, I don't want to spoil the cruise. When I see it, when you see it on the internet, you feel it.
Okay, let me let this for you for not answering that. You have to answer this one, and this time you're not going to get off. This is the last one, so you have to do it.
Okay.
As a star, we can only imagine how crazy your lifestyle would be,
Mm-hmm.
right? What's the wildest message you've gotten in your DMs? Especially because you've put it out there that you like Bomb Bomb. So I imagine that there's a lineup in your DMs.
What's the wildest message? That's it. Because I don't really pay attention. I mean, I've seen some wild stuff, but
Just
then
the
they
wildest
don't
one.
really stick with me like that. So I don't know if I can remember anyone
Hmm.
now. But I think it's when the all power challenge was going on.
There was a challenge.
It was a challenge.
Wait, people were shaking your shoulder.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And my DMs were really. I'm like,
You were saturated.
this is crazy. This is.
Maybe you talk say you should find your
No, but it was too much for me at the time because they don't even say hi. They just boom. You just open your name like
Wow.
You know, Shelly, what's this? So that was wild for me, Sha.
Must have been in a madhouse at the time.
Yeah, honestly.
Anyway, my bro, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story. I think that just speaking to you, God has a plan for your life and your career is going to even go bigger than this. And I wish you the best going forward. Thank you for coming on the show. Kotsi Lipton, your special goodie bag. I've been open up for you. When you reach us, make you open up. But thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Help me sign out.
This is Victony the Outlaw King, and I had a good time with Temi-san on TV.